And welcome back to A Podcast in Space and Time. I'm Kendal Coffee.
And I'm Holden B. Huffman, and I don't want to do this.
I don't want to either, but today we are doing Series 2, Episode 10, Love and Monsters.
Right?
It's just my feelings on this episode. Just a long groan.
I know, it's bad. Like, this is like the worst episode of Doctor Who ever made.
Yeah. I remembered this episode being really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I do not remember it being this bad.
Oh, really?
It was even somehow worse than I remembered.
Yeah, that says a lot. And it's a Davies episode, too.
Russel T Davies wrote this episode on purpose.
Right. Like, what? Now, you said, before we dive into anything else, you had that article pulled up about why it was so bad.
There was an article from BBC America. They didn't specifically say why it was so bad. They just kind of
I knew they wouldn't say this is why this episode was bad, but it kind of helps explain why it's so bad.
Yeah, it's called Doctor Who 10 Things You May Not Know About Love and Monsters. It's not a numbered list. I don't know why the article says 10 things you didn't know. Yeah, it's just like several paragraphs of information. But anyway, so the like key things though were number one, which most people know, the monster was part of a contest. A kid named William Grantham designed the Absorbaloff.
Which explains a lot.
The drawing's not bad. It's a pretty nice drawing. I don't know how old this kid was, but it's like they took the drawing that this kid made and translated it just super literally
gotcha.
into the final monster. I mean, like, you have the hair, you have all the faces in the body, you have like a little loincloth. Yeah, it's.
I don't want to think about this dude anymore.
The drawing looks so similar to what we saw on the show.
Oh gosh!
It's also funny that you have this kid's colored pencil drawing, and then like in the corner you have a little copyright symbol in BBC. the BBC has copyrighted this child's drawing.
Right. And it's kind of funny thinking about a child's drawing coming to life, and then we think about the next episode.
Yeah. But the other thing about this episode, and the reason it was so light on the Doctor, is this was being filmed at the same time as the Impossible Planet and the Satan Pit.
Which explains why all three episodes were just bad.
Yeah, there was literally a whole separate shooting crew doing this one simultaneously with that one.
You can tell all three episodes were just all half-assed.
Yeah, very much so. And we got 5 minutes of screen time with the Doctor and Rose, maybe.
Right.
And the rest of our screen time was spent with our buddy Elton, who is
the generic white man.
He's probably the least interesting character in this entire episode.
Like, literally, we were saying, I want to know more about Bliss. I want to know about Mr. Skinner. I want to know more about Moaning Myrtle.
Yeah, there were so many more interesting characters in this episode, but we got stuck with Elton's video blogs instead, which is sad because there's almost an interesting thing in here. Like, I liked their little group at the start.
That was the last note I made right before we were recording. There are elements of what could have been a good episode. A group of people who have in some way been affected by the Doctor and their life changing due to him helping, and then just leaving without any resolve or anything.
Yeah, that's a fun idea. But then Victor Kennedy shows up and the whole episode just goes way downhill.
I mean, it was already kind of downhill, but
Yeah, but even more so. And like I get where they were going with the Victor Kennedy character. Like obviously he's meant to be sort of a stand-in for like the super obsessed fanboy who takes
Mm-hmm.
things like way too far.
Right.
Um
It's like in the first season, spoiler alert for the Umbrella Academy. It's like the Umbrella Academy season 1. You know?
I'm trying to think of what the reference is there.
Because the villain, the dude was such a fanboy.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
syndrome. It's like syndrome.
Yeah. It's syndrome.
Right.
um yeah. Yeah. This one fanboy who's just like so to the point of like hurting other people or
Yeah.
making other people's lives miserable.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, it wasn't just because it was just doing that just so he could get to the doctor and absorb him.
Right, yeah, but like you still saw that like
Mm-hmm.
reference there too.
Right.
Like
Right.
I assume this came from a place of Russell T Davies having dealt with a fan like that maybe.
But literally, as the episode began, I'm just like, so you're probably wondering how I got here.
uh,
And then the title sequence started. I'm like, yeah, starring David Tennant and Billy Piper.
yeah, very vague David Tennant and Billy Piper.
Mm-hmm. Also, there was a little nice Scooby-Doo hallway chase.
There was. I liked that part.
That's it.
Um,
This was just a clip show.
yeah, I got really strong Lion King 1.5 vibes.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
But way less fun.
Yeah, no, we were actually here the whole time.
Yeah.
We were part of the story, Timon.
Except that movie was
Fun.
kind of like the whole thing was kind of tongue in cheek,
Right, like that was the point of the movie. Like I know a lot of people bash that movie, but I actually really enjoy it.
It's fun as long as you treat
Mhm.
it as just kind of a joke and not as like
Right.
something that was literally supposed to be happening.
Right.
Which like this
I'm sorry.
thing, like where it's just we could have had a similar thing here where it's just kind of fun and funny how
No,
we were part of these other Doctor Who stories.
but that's not what we got.
Nope.
Oh yeah, and we
got
Elton.
yeah.
So during the whole Christmas invasion of like the Christmas invasion thing, Elton's like, I was in bed. I was trapped in my bed. There was glass everywhere. I had to design this pulley system to help get me up. We don't see it. And he's like,
don't
it was
see that, 'cause that would've been
like
fun.
he said, like it was a spectacle. And I'm like, well, why can't we see it if it was a spectacle? No, we don't get to see it.
We spectacle in this episode.
Yeah.
We just have the budget for video blog shots.
Yeah. Okay, the other good thing I'll give this episode is their usage of Mr. Blue Sky by ELO.
Yeah, that's like
they used that very good in this episode and how they transitioned with it and everything. Also, just a very good song.
great song. There was another song from that album that they used on this one. I don't remember what that one's called, but that's another one from that same album.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, several great songs in this episode.
Right. We have Moaning Myrtle in this.
We do have Moaning Myrtle, which was very distracting.
Right.
She's a great actress, but like I can only see her as Moaning Myrtle. It's
yeah, that is very fair.
Sorry, Shirley Henderson.
We got like 2 more mentions of Torchwood.
We did, yeah.
But one of them we really should just save for spoilers.
I was gonna say I'm gonna save that one.
Yeah. How stupid are these people, Kendal?
It was so it was so frustrating because like after Bliss mysteriously disappeared, they should have caught on that something sinister was happening.
Right. Yeah, no, it was just
It was the same exact thing every time.
right. No.
Saying, "Can I speak to you in private for a moment?" And then
Mm,
like the next time they come, the person is gone, and it's like,
mm,
come on, y'all, put two and two
yeah.
together here.
Yeah, no, for real. Um in one of the photos that Mr. Kennedy showed them of Rose, I saw the back of Eccleston's head.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but it looked like Eccleston. He had the jacket and had the head and the kind of buzz cut. It looked like him.
Which is interesting that they never really made the connection that there was more than one doctor.
Right. Look,
Um,
they were running out of time. They needed something.
they
It's
they
not.
need
It's not worth mentioning that, Kendall. It's a bad episode. Let's just not get into it.
listen. They needed more video blog shots of Elton talking to a camera, and they didn't have time to talk about anything interesting.
It's true. Okay,
Um,
some of this episode had some really good Jackie Tyler moments, but it also had some really bad Jackie Tyler moments.
yeah, like I understood why she was being the way she was this episode, and like she explained it later,
Mm-hmm.
after Elton got his shirt off.
But it was so bad. Like looking at his butt and everything, and just
Yeah, there were just a lot of uncomfortable moments, and just
right.
like there were some uncomfortable implications with Victor as well, like
Mm-hmm.
wanting to talk to Bliss and the other lady in private. I was like, ooh, that's
Yeah.
don't like that. Bridget was the other one.
Right. No, this is the most upsetting episode
I
of
said
all
that.
time.
I said that like while we were watching. I'm like, this is genuinely the most upsetting episode ever.
Mm-hmm. Right. You said that multiple times.
Yeah.
And I don't blame you. Poor Bliss. She's on the butt cheek.
Bliss was on she didn't even get a shot when they were like trying to pull him apart.
Why do you think?
Um, Bliss deserves better. Hashtag Bliss deserved better.
Right? I wish the episode was about her.
She was the most interesting character in this episode.
Yep.
I loved her weird little song, and then like her sculpture that she was made, and when she was talking about it
Right.
as like an artist slash someone who's trying to learn guitar, I just like wanted to know more about her and like see more of her art. I thought it was fun.
Mm-hmm. We had just literally mentioned the Slovene, and then they referenced the Slovene.
They did, which I was surprised by. I didn't think they would actually acknowledge the other like worst alien we've seen.
Yeah, the other fat green alien.
Yeah.
And apparently the guys from their twin planet.
Yeah, which that explains a lot.
Right.
I did think it was funny that the twin planet had like a really short name. After Raxacana whatever.
Something. Yeah.
I'm not going to say it correctly, and do not correct me. I'm never going to say it correctly.
Of course, there's a Stephen King reference in this episode.
Yeah.
Like, of all episodes, this has got to be the one with the Stephen King reference.
I'd much rather be watching a Stephen King story than this hot mess.
Listen, I would rather be watching Maximum Overdrive than this. I would rather be watching Stephen King's official version of, oh gosh, what was it called? See, I'm not a big Stephen King fan. I don't know the name of all his books. It's the one with the hotel and everything.
Oh, The Shining.
Yeah, The Shining. Yeah, I'm gonna get a lot of comments about not knowing that.
Let's talk about your vendetta against Stephen King.
It's just I'm just not a big horror fan.
I feel you.
That's the biggest thing about it.
Yeah, I've read a couple of his books, but I have not read any of his horror stuff because I'm not a horror fan either. And I find with his horror, he tends to push things a little farther than I really enjoy.
Yeah, no, like I do enjoy watching like Nostalgia Critics reviews of his horror stuff just because they're so hokey. He only really reviews his hokey pokey things.
Yeah.
And they're really good. Like the the 90s It with I'm cutting this out. I don't remember his name and I feel ashamed. Tim Curry. Tim Curry. I remember the name now. With Tim Curry's It. With Tim Curry's Pennywise. Like that, Tim Curry's Pennywise is just beautiful. Okay, I am keeping all this in. Sorry.
Okay.
Also, we had the greatest line by David Tennant ever. Elton, fetch me a spade.
The greatest line in the worst episode. Yeah. And that's poetic.
Mm-hmm. You have anything else before I mention their love life?
Not really. No.
What else are we supposed to take away from the type of love life, Kendal? What else?
There was a... I don't want to think about it. I mean, I'm not trying to yuck their yum, but I just don't really want to think about it. They didn't have to mention it. They just didn't have to mention it. I mean, I'm talking about Russel T Davies. He didn't have to write that part. He didn't have to, but he chose to. Didn't have to, man. You really didn't have to.
Right, no, there was an angle shot of them with Ursula as the slab there or something, and I'm like, oh, that's the only angle she ever sees. But
anyway.
Well, I think that's all for the non-spoilers.
Yep.
Okay, well, before we get into spoiler section, because I want to mention this to everyone else, we have a special announcement to make. This Monday, from the audience point of view of release, this Monday is November 23rd, which marks the 57th anniversary of Doctor Who.
Woo!
So we are going to do something special on that day. We are going to release a bonus episode of us reviewing An Adventure in Space and Time, which was released in 2013. So if you guys aren't caught up with Series 7 of Doctor Who, I don't really recommend watching it or listening to it, because we are going to definitely get into spoiler territory of that era. I can already tell you. I don't want to mention it because Kendal has never seen this special.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to get into the reasons why there's some spoilers in there for Series 7.
But if you are caught up, then go on that journey with us.
Yeah, go on that journey. It's a special, it's a bonus episode, so don't feel bad about not being able to watch it or anything. And hey, if you just don't care about spoilers and want to watch it anyway, I mean, you're welcome to, but I don't know why you would. But yeah, but we will be going on to the normal thing next Saturday as well. We'll be going on to Fear Her, so it's just a bonus episode. Nothing to worry about.
Oh, that's good. I was really worried.
Oh yeah, Kendal, I know you were so worried about this.
I was just so concerned.
It's not like we planned this months in advance or anything.
I was so concerned about this bonus episode and what greater implications it was going to have on my life.
Oh, I know it, man.
Okay, let's talk spoilers.
Well, first off, we plan on doing a special every year for every
for every anniversary.
For every Doctor Who day. We do plan on doing something. I'm pretty sure we plan on doing the Doctor Who TV movie with Paul McGann and Eric Roberts next year. So yeah. Okay,
so let's get fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So let's get into the spoiler territory. Spoiler warning. There's really not many spoilers in this. This episode is not worth making, but I can't believe the died. It's not worth it. Not worth it. Elton made a comment about Jackie and Rose's demise. Not really demise, but...
Oh, did he? I missed that one.
Yeah, he said, I guess this is what it's like for anyone that encounters the Doctor. Something horrible happens. I just can't help but think what will happen to Jackie and Rose.
Oh, yeah. Kind of like a little foreshadowing there.
Right. I mean, it's not like there have already been a lot of foreshadowing and everything, so.
Yeah. Which again, it was an interesting idea to explore, like kind of the greater consequences of
Right.
doing what the doctor does. But
I've always wanted to see an episode like that, but the only things we get are stuff like this.
yeah, it's like
or stuff like back in Bad Wolf, where they literally have to put a last time on Doctor Who from the long game of Satellite 5. This is totally not Satellite 5, so
yeah,
blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it's never handled exactly how you would
want
it to be.
Right.
Let's see. They talked about the Bad Wolf virus, and how it was like kind of keeping information from being stored online about the doctor or whatever.
Right, and Rose, which is because of I just thought of something. It's not Bad Wolf like when Rose was Bad Wolf. Rose didn't do that.
Okay.
It was Mickey. Because in World War III, the doctor gave Mickey like a floppy disk, or a disk or something, and said, it's a virus. It'll erase everything about me and everything.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Right. I don't know why they call it the Bad Wolf virus, though.
I guess because of Bad Wolf related reasons.
I don't know. Because at first I did think maybe when Rose was Bad Wolf, she did something that would mess it up. But no, the doctor literally gave Mickey a virus to put on the internet to erase all information of the doctor. So
yeah. I mean, the Bad Wolf name was popping up all over, so it doesn't seem unreasonable that it would just pop up there.
That's fair.
But yeah, this explains, we'll see this later in the season, explains why Torchwood doesn't really know much about Rose.
And why they actually thought Jackie was Rose.
Right, because of the Bad Wolf virus. They couldn't find any information because of that.
Right.
Which also adds up because, Victor Kennedy was...
also having trouble finding him.
Yeah, but he was somehow privy to Torchwood's files, which should have been a lot more extensive.
Right. How did he get those files? I don't want to think about it.
I don't know, and I don't care.
I have one more spoiler note. A living shadow.
Yeah.
It's the Vashta
reference.
Which I feel like, I don't know if it's a reference, because that's 2 seasons away we get the Vashta Narada.
Yeah, I thought it was strange this early to it, but it's the only thing that makes sense.
Right.
Which I'm wondering if maybe Russel Davies had an idea for the Vashta Narada, but couldn't quite figure it out, and maybe he handed it off to Moffat. I don't know. That's all speculation.
Hey, who turned out the lights? Hey, who turned out the lights? Hey, who turned out the lights?
I wouldn't be...
Hey, who turned out the lights? Hey, who turned out the lights? Sorry. Go ahead.
I wouldn't be surprised if that kind of thing happens in this kind of show pretty often. That the showrunner has an idea, but maybe they too busy or can't quite work it out, so they pass it on to another writer.
Right. Yeah, no, I wouldn't put it past them, just because, time and everything.
He's got other things to worry about, like writing this wonderful episode.
Right?
He was very busy writing this one.
He was so passionate.
He just poured his heart and soul into this episode. And...
you know what? We don't have anything else to say about this episode. Let's just go ahead and end it. I'm tired of talking about it.
I'm tired of talking about this episode.
Okay, well, join us next time, this Monday, for the Adventure in Space and Time. And then back to our normal schedule next Saturday, Doctor Who Series 2, Episode 11, Fear Her.